Zai Asa Uriel. I remember his chubby cheeks and his dark red small lips. They were just perfect. And I fell in love with him all over again.
Welcome to Still a Part of Us, a place where moms and dads share the story of their child who was stillborn or who died in infancy. I'm Winter.
And I'm Lee. We are grateful you joined us today. Please note that this is a story of loss and has triggers.
Thanks to our lost parents who are willing to be vulnerable and share their children with us.
If you're listening to this podcast, just know that on our YouTube channel there are pictures and videos that are related to the stories that are being shared.
Subscribe and share it with a friend that might need it and tell them to subscribe. Why? Because people need to know that even though our babies are no longer with us, they're still a part of us. Welcome to Still a Part of Us. We are just so excited to talk to Shermica today. She reached out to us just a little while ago, and when she told us the story of Zai, I just was like, it would be wonderful to chat and be able to have her tell his story. And so thank you so much, Shermica, for coming on. Thank you so much for being brave and reaching out to us and saying, I want to tell my son's story, especially since it has not been very long since you lost him. So welcome.
Thank you so much. I'm happy to be here.
So can you tell us a little bit about yourself? Tell us where you're located and what you do is for a living, anything that you like to do in your spare time, that type of thing.
Oh, sure. So I'm Shermica. I'm from Grenada, located in the Caribbean. For a living, I am a teacher.
Mm-hmm.
I teach preschoolers, so the small ones, toddlers.
Yeah.
It's fun.
Yeah.
And I enjoy alone time, being for myself, relaxing, looking at a really good action movie.
Oh.
I love action. I love a mystery.
Oh, fun. Yeah, those are fun movies to watch.
Oh, yes. Keep you on your toes.
Yep, exactly. And what does your family look like at the time of Zai's birth? If you can tell us who's in your family and if you have any other children or if Zai was your first.
Zai was my first baby. My boyfriend at the time, well, he's now my husband.
Okay, wonderful. And what do you guys, you love watching action films and stuff like that. Anything that you are, anything else that you wanted to share about that you guys like doing as a family or?
We love having fun. So every Friday nights we have game night, very competitive, cards and Legos, all different kind of games that we play to engage, to have fun, memory. We love having fun. Very competitive family.
Yeah, I was gonna say the fact you kept saying that, I was like, oh, you guys, it's probably fun game night. Like this is
So it's like if this Friday I won, then I'm ready for them for the next Friday, or they're ready for me.
Yep, they're like bringing it on.
Very competitive, very fun, small unit.
Yeah, that is wonderful. Okay, well then let's talk about Zai then. So he is. Can you tell us at the time of this recording how long ago he was born?
He was born in April, 2nd of April.
In 2024, right?
2024.
So really, we're recording this in December, and so just to give some perspective, that's just it hasn't even been a year, and
just 8 months.
Yeah, and so, Shermica is still very new at this. This
very
is
fresh.
Yes, it's extremely fresh and raw. So thank you once again. I can't thank you enough because some people, it's a little too hard. So thank you.
It is. But thank you.
Yeah. Okay, so tell us a little bit about Zai. Were you guys planning on getting pregnant? Was that something that was difficult for you to do, or was it a surprise and it was like, oh, it just happened? Can you tell us a little bit more about that?
We were actually planning, and it was the first try, and I was like, oh, wow.
Yeah.
Yes, it was the first try. I was like, thank you, Jesus.
Yeah.
We're good. Let's see how this goes.
Okay. And have you always wanted to have a family?
I've always wanted to have a family
Yeah.
since I was only a teenager.
Yeah.
Wanted 4 kids,
Oh,
4 boys,
oh, you want to be a boy mom.
boy
That's
mom,
awesome all the way.
boy mom all the way. So when I found out, I was super excited. I told my boyfriend at the time, he's not my husband.
Hmm.
It's like, oh, I'm pregnant. It's gonna be a boy.
You're like, I feel it. It's definitely going to be a boy.
Was We were excited. We were
Yeah.
ready.
Yeah. That's wonderful. And is
Mhm.
your family in Grenada as well? Were you able to tell them and get them involved?
Oh yes. So we have a family chat on my boyfriend, my husband's side,
Hmm.
and the first sonogram picture,
Oh,
we took a snap of it and we sent it and we said, okay, new baby coming soon.
oh,
Everybody was like, oh God, congratulations. We were so
yay.
happy.
Yeah. That's
It was
wonderful.
really good delivering that news.
Yeah.
Then I told my mom, I was like, Mom, you're gonna have another grandkid. She was like, what? I said, yes, I'm pregnant. She
It's
was happy. She was really happy.
oh wonderful. That's always so fun to tell the moms, I think, the parents.
Yes. And what's even more fun, delivering the news to everyone.
Yeah.
It was different, it was fun. The most exciting part was telling.
So when you found out that you got pregnant, how did you tell your boyfriend at the time slash now your husband? Did you, or did you guys like test together or how did that work?
Oh, I tested first. I was like, I was super excited. I couldn't wait. So it was pretty early. The line was pretty faint.
Yeah.
And I took it. He was downstairs doing something and I saw it. I looked. I said, I'm sure that's a lie. I'm going downstairs and I'm going to tell him. And I went
Mhm.
downstairs. He was organizing some things. And I said, babe, I'm pregnant. He was like, really? I showed him. He was like, the line. I said, I'm sure that's a lie. I'm sure.
You're like, I'm positive. And also it's gonna be a
I said,
boy.
oh, yes.
I love your surety on these things. It's awesome.
It was
That
good.
yes, that's wonderful. Okay, and then, did you go and see a doctor or a provider, pretty early? I don't know how that works usually. I would see my provider around 8 or 9 weeks. It was always a little bit later, a few weeks later after I found out I was pregnant.
Oh, I was so sure. We went in like this. I found out probably the Friday, and I think we went in the Saturday.
Oh, okay.
So sure. I was so sure.
That's
I was
awesome.
so sure. So we went straight away because we wanted to make sure, wanted to
Yeah,
double check, and we
and
did.
did you end up doing, like, blood tests, or did they end up doing a little ultrasound of some sort?
Oh no, we didn't. We didn't actually.
Mm,
And that's the thing with our system. So we didn't.
mhm.
I told her I missed my period. That's when it's supposed to come.
Okay.
It didn't come. I took a test, and here's what it's saying. There's a faint line, but I believe I'm pregnant. She was asking about the symptoms.
Yeah.
Honestly, I started to feel, I don't know if it was a mind thing,
Mm,
but to me, I started to feel sick already.
mhm.
So I was like, I'm not feeling good. I'm feeling nauseous. And she's like, okay, yeah, you are.
That's cool. That's great that they were able to come and at least see you that early on.
Yes, that early.
Yeah.
Probably as soon as I missed my period, like the next day, 8 weeks or something, like 5 weeks, five,
Yeah.
6 weeks.
Yeah, that's quick.
Really
Ok
early.
and then was that your particular provider? Was that your doctor that you, already saw, or was it just somebody that, was
Oh,
able just to get you in?
no, just random. Just
Random.
decide.
Okay.
Because
Okay.
we live in the town.
Yeah.
So I decided, okay, we're going back to this doctor. We're
Oh,
not going too far. We're going there to make sure. And
gotcha.
we did right there.
Wonderful. So you were starting to feel, you think, a little nauseous and everything. And
Nauseous.
so how was the rest of your first trimester? How were you feeling? Did you continue to feel sick or did it get better?
And by the 10th week, it started to come in really, really bad.
Oh,
So
really?
everything I ate, I brought it up.
Oh,
Everything I smell, I vomit. It
Oh,
was it was so I couldn't for the first trimester I was away from work because I just
you
couldn't.
couldn't. Yeah.
Yeah, I couldn't. Um there was this time my husband had to practically like feed me because I
Oh,
was losing weight. Nothing stayed down, no matter
yeah.
what we tried. We visited the doctor's office probably around 3 times. I was
Uh-huh.
on IV drips
Oh,
3 times because
you
nothing
just
stayed. I
yeah.
was losing weight instead of gaining weight, and nothing stayed. The scents were terrible,
Yeah.
so I had to be locked into a room by myself.
Yeah. I was gonna
It
say
was.
I was
I
thinking, I was
cried
like,
every
"Oh,
day.
oh man, being around little kids and having all sorts of their little smells, you're like, oh, this is not good."
Yes, I couldn't even attend work,
Yeah,
so
you were
I was
very,
at
very
home
sick.
on
Yeah.
sick leave for the entire first trimester.
Oh man, that is rough.
That it was rough. Um,
Did you
I
find any?
slept.
I was gonna say, did you find any sort of relief in any medications or anything that you did to feel a little bit better?
Well, I remember the doctor injected me with something. I can't remember the name,
Uh huh.
and it probably held off for a day.
Okay.
So my morning sickness, I call it whole day sickness because I was vomiting for the entire
Yeah.
day. I
Yeah.
was vomiting. Yeah. So probably it lasted for a day, and then it came back again.
Yeah. It was
Same
back.
thing.
Oh, that is rough.
It was hard. It was
Yeah.
really hard. Was literally crying
Yeah.
every day. When my husband would leave for work, I'll be like, please don't leave me. It
Yeah.
was bad.
Yeah. I mean, I would be worried that if I was throwing up that much or being dehydrated that much, that the baby would not be not
I
getting what
was,
they needed to grow, right?
yes, I was worried and I was thinking, Lord, how am I going to sustain this baby if I can't even sustain myself?
Yeah.
So I felt I was hard on myself also because
Mhm.
I felt like I wasn't doing what I was
Yeah.
supposed to do. Keep the
Yeah.
baby safe,
Yeah.
give it everything that it can for that first trimester, which is very important.
Mhm.
And I couldn't hold on anything, not even water.
Yeah.
I was practically living off probably a spoonful of
Oh.
water or something because it was that bad.
Oh.
So I was really hard on myself and it was difficult, but
Yeah.
I pulled through.
Yeah. When you did go see the doctor, they were still saying the baby was okay despite you being very sick.
Yes, they were.
Okay.
Heartbeat was strong,
Okay.
baby was okay. It was just, I guess, my,
Yes.
you can
Your
say morning
health.
sickness, my health.
Yeah.
Because I was losing weight, my blood was a little bit low.
Yeah.
But the baby was good. Baby was fine.
Okay.
At the clinic when I go for my checkups, baby was good. Baby was always good. Heartbeat always good. Um, every time I visit there, always used to be injected
Mhm.
um, for the vomiting
Yeah. Yeah.
for the entire first trimester. Every day I had to get an injection. Every time I visit, I had to get an injection
Oh
just
man.
to help my stomach to settle a bit.
Oh
But it
my
didn't
gosh.
work. But
Yeah. Or it wouldn't last very long, it sounded like
it
either.
wouldn't last. From the time I probably lasted probably 15 minutes, and then I'll start throwing up again
Oh.
on my way home.
Oh. Oh. You're like,
Yeah.
this is not helping at all. I am so sorry. That sounds terrible. Like I have sisters-in-law that get very sick in the first trimester as well.
Oh,
And
it's
I have thankfully have never experienced to that extent of sickness. So,
and it takes a toll mentally because
yes.
you're thinking, what am I doing?
Yeah.
What is happening to my baby?
Yeah.
Is it
Yes.
something that I'm doing wrong or I didn't do before? Probably I wasn't healthy enough before I conceived.
Yeah. That's yes, mentally very
It's,
taxing. Okay, Sharmika, then you hit your second trimester. Did it stop? Did the vomiting and the nausea and vomiting really start to drop off then? Is that when you started to feel a little bit better?
I started to feel myself again
Oh, good.
coming. at the beginning of the second trimester, probably
Okay.
2 weeks after the second trimester. I started feeling myself again. The vomiting had lessened, so only vomited on mornings, which was good. I
Yeah.
took that as
You're like,
great.
I will
I'm
take
gonna
one time a day. That's fine. Or
one
whatever.
time a day, that's fine. And that was it. That was it throughout my whole pregnancy. I vomited up to the last day
Oh,
on mornings.
oh,
Yeah.
oh, ugh.
Yes.
Oh,
So I started to feel myself. I was back at work and I felt good. Up
ok-
about doing things that I love,
okay. Well,
having
good.
fun. It was
Wonderful.
good.
Okay.
Yes.
I know second trimester is a nice reprieve from first trimester morning sickness and third trimester being large and uncomfortable, I think.
Large and uncomfortable. Yeah.
um okay, so in the second trimester, they're still checking your baby out and everything is looking good. And did you have your anatomy scan? Usually that is around 20 weeks or so. Is that when you guys usually have it?
Oh no, I
Oh,
didn't. We don't. Yeah. So here it's a bit different.
okay. Yes, please tell
Um,
me.
yeah, so we didn't get that done. The only ultrasound I had done, or sonogram I had done, was when I found out, when they had to confirm at the 8th week.
Oh, that
Yeah.
was it.
And that was it until the next sonogram I had was when I
Uh-huh.
traveled to the US. That was at 28 weeks.
Okay. What? Oh, really? So do they do anything to ensure that the baby doesn't have any issues or or any genetic testing or anything else that they would do or just check and make
No.
sure
So
everything is
we
okay?
just go to the clinic, see the nurses, check our weight, check the growth of our tummy,
Mhm.
um, and the baby's heartbeat. And that was it.
And that was it.
Yeah, that was it.
And that is pretty typical though of um
Of how we do it here.
okay. Okay.
Mm. They
And
will
then
only
oh
send
go.
you there if there seems to be a problem or an issue, or you're experiencing some difficulty within the
Mm,
pregnancy, then they'll
mhm.
send you for another sonogram.
Okay.
Yeah.
And
But seeing that I was the one that was sick, then there weren't, well, I guess there weren't any concern for baby because they were
yeah.
getting everything right. He was growing right.
Okay.
Everything was good. Heartbeat was fine.
Okay.
Yeah. So we
And
don't do another scans here.
gotcha.
Well,
Okay.
based on my experience.
Yes. No, no, this is really good because healthcare is different throughout the world.
Different
And
throughout the world.
yes, and
Yeah.
so it is good to know how it is done there and what's the typical um
Yes.
process, I guess. So you did though mention that at 28 weeks you did end up getting a sonogram then, is that
Yes.
correct?
Yes. And
Okay.
that's when I also got a genetic testing
Oh, you
done.
did. Okay, at that
Yes, I
time.
did.
Okay.
At that time, yeah.
Just because you were traveling, it sounds
Just
like.
because I traveled, yes.
Okay. And then how did everything look there at that time?
Oh, everything there was fine. When I saw him the first time, I was like, oh my God, I made that.
Yeah.
He was so cute. He looked like his dad. I was like, oh my God, why
Oh,
do I have to look like your dad so much?
yeah.
He was he was perfect.
Really?
He was perfect. And I was told that he was growing fine,
Oh, good.
placenta was looking good,
Okay.
blood is coming out and going in properly, everything
Okay.
was good. So I was
Great.
excited.
Wonderful.
Yeah. That's when I also found out his gender.
Yes. Okay. I was going to ask. So, and I'm assuming you wanted to know because some people don't want to know.
Yes.
Okay.
I wanted to know. I wanted to know so much, but I decided, seeing that I'm traveling, then I'll just find out one time.
Mhm.
When they do all the testing and everything, I'll find out one time. And it took probably 2 weeks for the results to come out.
Okay.
And when I got it, I was like, oh my God. I went out and I said, that time I was living with my uncle, my aunt. It's like, guess what? Guess what the sex of the baby is? It's like, it's a boy. I was like, yes. A boy.
Yay! You're like, I was right.
Yeah.
See?
Yes. Then I called my husband.
Mm-hmm.
I was like, guess what it is? It's a boy. I told you. I told you it's gonna be a boy. It was a boy.
Yay. That is wonderful. That's it. It is always very exciting to find that out. So,
Best day. One of the best day.
yeah. Shermica, with the genetic testing, was there any issues on the genetic testing?
No, no
Okay.
issues. Everything was fine.
Everything was good there too. Okay.
Everything was good. Thank God.
Wonderful. Wonderful. Okay.
He
That
was
is
I was good. He was good.
okay.
Everything seemed to be on track. On
Okay.
track.
Wonderful. And did you guys have anything like a baby shower or anything that your family did or friends did to celebrate this your little baby coming?
Oh no, we didn't. We didn't because I think I was so emotional because my husband wasn't there.
Yeah.
Yes, I had everybody else there, but he wasn't there, and that
Yeah.
was so around the time was very emotional for me. So that time I stayed at home. I had to go anywhere. So I didn't. I told them no.
Okay.
They asked, and I said no.
Okay.
It's okay.
You
It's
just
fine.
wanted him there. Okay.
Just wanted just
Yeah.
nothing else. But
Yeah.
then he's good. He's healthy. We're good.
Yes. Those are some basic things that you always just want. So
Yes.
you don't need to have anything more than that sometimes. Um, okay, so then you are at this time, you are with your aunt and uncle, and
Yes.
where are they at again?
Oh, New York.
Okay, they're in New York, so they're
Yes.
with you and taking care of you. Your husband's back at
Yeah.
home,
Oh,
and that yeah, that's tough. How long were you with your aunt and uncle?
um, January, 5 months.
5 months. Okay, so a good long while actually.
It
Yeah.
was.
Okay. Wonderful. And everything, how was the care there in New York? When were you were able to get a provider there to check on the
Yes.
okay.
I got through the hospital. Everything was good. I saw the doctors. Everything went really, really well.
Okay.
I was like, God, you're working things out, things going this well. That
Yeah.
means
Yeah, you're like, "I'll
it's
take it."
good. I'm
Mhm.
good.
Mhm.
Everything gonna go well.
Okay.
Okay, I'll take it.
Yeah. Okay, and then so the plan I guess maybe what is your plan? Because you were there for 5 months. Were you planning on heading back to Grenada for the birth, or were you planning on giving birth there? What was the plan?
Oh, the plan was to give birth there.
Okay.
Yes,
Okay.
the plan was to give birth there.
Okay. So then, yeah, that is hard to be away. And was your husband planning on coming, closer to the time of the birth, or how is that going to work?
Unfortunately, no.
Oh,
He,
yeah,
no,
that's
he
hard.
couldn't. He couldn't be there. He's actually a principal,
Oh,
so he
he was
couldn't be
needed at
there.
home. Yeah, they
So it
need.
was a decision. It was a very bitter decision to do that, to
Hmm.
leave
Yeah.
and to go over there to but
Were you thinking that was the decision made so that you could just get some better health care
better
for
health care,
during the
better health
time of the
care.
birth?
Because what really triggered that, I remember a visit in particular. She was like, "Oh, I can't find the baby's heartbeat." It's like
Mm,
you can't find it, but I'm feel he's moving, he's kicking. Well, the baby. Well, I used to say say he's moving, he's kicking. How can you find his heartbeat? She was like, I don't know. Seems like I'm getting yours. It's like, can this be? He's moving, he's kicking, and that was the longest minute in my life. I held
y-
my breath because I'm like in
yeah.
my mind, what is moving? He's kicking. I mean, I can't find his heartbeat. What's going on? What's
Yeah.
happening? And before the visit was over, she found it and she was like, "Oh, everything's okay." He was just hiding
Oh,
or
okay.
whatever. It's like, yeah,
But but that is a terrifying time to be like, where is it? Where is
where
it?
is it exactly? But the thing was, I felt him. I
Mhm.
felt that he was moving. I felt the kicks,
Mhm.
and I had to tell her. I said, "Touch here."
Yeah.
He's moving, and she was like, "Yeah, I feel it, but I can't find his heartbeat." It's like, okay, So I decided from there I need to do something. So we
Okay.
spoke and we decided, okay, we're gonna try and see how we can get that done
Yeah.
to ensure that I'm safe, he's safe. Another option.
Yeah. So that was really I'm glad that there was another option that you had
Yeah,
your family members that were able to have you over.
post
Um
me, yes. And
yeah.
that was good.
Yeah, that is great. Okay, so you were there. Man, that is rough. I that you were separated from your husband. I just think you are so brave. And also, but you're also just trying to take care of your baby as best as you can. So
Exactly.
you do need to make
That was the
decisions like that.
number one focus.
Yeah,
Take
yeah,
care of him, make sure he's good.
yeah. Did you and your husband decide on a name beforehand? I'm wondering, once you found out that he was a boy, did you guys start talking about names?
Oh, yes. As soon as oh, before that, we said that if it's a girl, we're going to say K. If it's a boy, then Zai.
Okay.
So I
So
was like, we know it's a boy now, so it's baby Zai Zai.
yeah. So you're like, obviously.
Baby Zai Zai, yes. So right now we have to come up with the other names.
Yes. And so with Zide, was that just a something that you've really liked already, or was there a family? Is that a family name?
Oh, I like Indian movies,
Mm-hmm.
Indian
Oh
action
yeah.
movies. So there was another name, and I think it was Samir or
Y-
Samir or something like that.
Yeah.
I was like, mm, let's break it down a bit because I'm a teacher, you're a teacher. Some children, they take a really long time to spell and write their names. I'm not doing that to my child.
That is so funny.
So we're going to get something short with
Short?
meaning.
Yeah.
Yes, because K was just going to be K,
Yeah.
just the letter K.
Oh, okay. I did not realize that. Okay, but Zai is really a little short little guy name. I mean, it's
It sounds so powerful and so
Mhm.
sweet. And when we look at the meaning of it, there were multiple meanings. And the one that really stood out was gift from God. I was
Oh,
like, yes, that must be
yeah.
my gift
Yeah.
because one try we got through. So that has to be a gift from God.
Yeah.
So we settled.
That's a beautiful
Taking
name.
our little Zai.
Yeah, that's so cute. Okay, well, and it was already decided. That's wonderful.
Yes, it was.
Okay, and then as you are starting to get from like the second trimester, everything is looking good. You are in
Mhm.
the States now, being seen. Everything is looking fine. And so can you just tell me as you got later on in your visits and stuff, how were things looking? Was there anything of concern?
Nothing to be concerned about. Oh no, I had one issue. I was dehydrated. So there was this
Mm,
point where I had to be hospitalized just
yeah.
for a couple of hours
Yeah.
to get an IV drip because I was vomiting still on mornings.
Yes.
And some days, some mornings, I can't eat anything
Yeah.
until probably after 12 when my stomach is more settled. So that was that. And
But
I
baby's
was
eye looks
having
okay.
But he looked okay. He
Okay,
was
great.
great. He was great. Growing nice. Everything was
Okay.
fine. And but I was having some hip pains also. So I
Oh.
had to go
Mhm.
to labor and delivery. That's when I got the IV drip because I realized I was dehydrated
Oh.
also. A lot of hip pains.
Yeah.
So when I walk a little too much, I literally had to get a clutch
Ye-
and swing myself because baby is heavy.
Oh, yeah.
My hip is like it's giving out on me.
Yeah.
Had to get someone to help me walk. It was rough.
I totally can relate to that because I remember I was like, I feel like my hips are going to fall out of their joints. It just it was the craziest thing.
Oh,
But I mean, I realize it's just your body trying to like it's loosening things up so
yes,
to prepare your body
yes,
for
exactly.
but it just does it feels terrible though.
It feels terrible. It feels terrible.
Yeah. Yeah.
It felt really terrible, but I was grateful and happy, and that he was healthy. Because one thing I did also, I used to write,
Okay.
so mostly every day I'll write something
Mhm.
in a diary. write down some affirmations,
Yeah.
write about my day, how I'm feeling at the moment, and always had a little prayer in there for
Hmm.
him and for me. So that really helped.
Yeah.
Besides the pain and everything else, that's something that really kept me journaling. It was good.
Wonderful. Good, good. Yeah. I think journaling is super helpful as well.
So,
Okay, so then can you tell us kind of what happened next? Like give us like what time frame we're looking at, what week of pregnancy you're at, when things are starting to s- go not the way we want it to go.
oh yeah. So it was at the 38th week. I went in for a checkup, and I remember that clearly. And some days I wonder probably if I didn't like speak up for myself at that time, maybe something could have been done, or I just say maybe that was just God's will, probably. So I went in,
Hmm.
everything seemed okay. But I remember around that time his movements changed a bit. So I was getting this, something was protruding out and my stomach will get so hard. So I'll be like, probably it's his butt
Mm.
pushing out or something. So I didn't want to touch it. So I said, probably it's his head because at the 34th week, when I
Hmm.
went in for a sonogram, I was told that he didn't turn as yet.
Oh,
So I
okay.
had to do some exercises. So I was a bit concerned.
Yeah.
So I did my exercises, hoping and praying that he will turn in time and
Yeah.
everything. We don't
Would
have
be
to stay beyond 40 weeks.
you're right.
But when I went in, which is the 37th week, 38th week, sorry,
Yes.
she was like, he's toned. And I said, but his movement changed a bit. I don't know if he's preparing for birth. He's not kicking as much, but I often see this big movement. And at that, when I said that, it happened, and I was like, yeah, like this. And she was like, really? It's like, oh, let me check you. And then she checked, and she was like, hold on. And she checked. And honestly, I was not thinking of anything because I was just trying to be positive. Baby is good, I'm good. Maybe she's checking for something I don't know. I wasn't hearing anything, but I was like, maybe yeah. Then I remember she held my tummy like this and she gave it a little rock.
Uh-huh.
And then she said, oh, here is it. I was like, what? She said, his heartbeat, I wasn't finding it. I was like, I said, but everything's okay, right? She was like, yeah, everything's okay. And she gave me an entire story of when someone came in and they didn't find a heartbeat and they had to send out to labor and delivery. And she was like, I'm so happy this is not you and you're fine, baby's fine. So I took it as he's fine. I'm fine because she did find the heartbeat.
Okay.
I remember taking the bus, going home, and I was not feeling good. I had to go to the pharmacy to
Uh-huh.
get some some medication topped
Okay.
up. And I said, you know what, I'm gonna come back the next day. I'm not feeling good. I just wasn't feeling good in my body. So I took the
Okay.
bus, I went home, and I got home, I ate something, and I went in and I laid down and I remember my doula called. I had a doula.
Mm-hmm.
Thankfully, I chose to get one because I said, my husband is not here.
Yeah.
My aunt and my uncle, they're very busy. I don't want on delivery day, I don't have anybody else. I need someone who's
Yes.
there, who knows, who can advocate, who can stand up with me and to be that support. So, and
That's great.
that's the best. And she called, are you taking, and she always call and ask, are you kicker? Are you taking the counts? Are you counting the kicks? I was like, yeah. I took the big movement as,
A kick. Or
yeah,
yes.
yeah, as a movement. He's good. So I was good with that. Sunday, so that was a Wednesday. Thursday, I stayed in bed. I didn't kick out and because I was not feeling good at
Mm-hmm.
all. And I remember the Thursday night. I felt such like deep pain. I was like, why am I feeling this way? And I said, you know what?
Mm.
Let me pray over my baby and let me pray over myself. And I said, God, I feel like I need to give back this baby to you. So I'm giving this baby back to you. I don't know what it is, but he's in your hands. He's safe. I know he's going to be okay, and I'm going to be okay. And I remember going to bed that night. And that night, I was actually feeling him kick actually, and he was kicking very hard. It was different, like he was fighting actually. So when I turned, he was kicking. When I turned the other side again, I was like, what's going on? Why are you not comfortable? Are you okay? And normally I'll speak to him. I'm like, are you okay? Is everything okay? And I was like, you're gonna be okay. You're all right. Everything's gonna be okay. And I remember falling asleep after, and I woke up to a really bad dream. And I remember I called my husband and I said, I don't know. I had a really bad dream, and it was bad. So I don't know if something's wrong with him, and I haven't felt him move this morning. So I hope everything is okay. And he said, usually I will overthink sometimes. So he says, Shum, just take a bath, eat something, and then you let me know. I took a bath, I ate, and I felt that big movement again. So I was like, okay, he's good, he's fine. So that day passed, that Thursday. I was not feeling good. I laid in bed. Friday came. I had another aunt who came up because I think she really came up for his delivery because she was excited.
Mm-hmm.
She said she came up for Easter vacation, but I know she came up in time for his birth.
It
She
just
was like,
happened.
make
Yeah.
sure you talk to him because Isaiah am coming up. He should come, and it was exciting. So
Yeah.
she came. She went with me to the hospital. We collected the medication, and we were in the car, and I was like, I'm not feeling him move. Like, what's going on? But in my head, it's like, he's probably okay. He's probably preparing for delivery, and I'm getting this big kind of movement. It's not kick as the night Thursday night, but this big movement. So he probably is fine. Probably just resting. That pass, we decide that we're going to do some carb walking to help speed up delivery.
Mm-hmm.
Hopefully, that
Mm-hmm.
was because Friday I took 39 weeks. So I'll say, okay, let's see if I can
Yeah, anytime
let's see if we
now.
can get baby's eyes out
Mm-hmm.
before my aunt leaves. Let's see if we can give her that gift. So um we started, we're doing a little exercise, being as safe as possible. We walked and we came back inside, and I started to get my contractions. I was like, okay, that's good. It's getting there. But it wasn't that significant. Saturday
Gotcha.
passed, nothing, but Sunday it started again. And it was closer. It wasn't anything great to go to the hospital for, but I felt it.
Okay.
I
Starting to
remember
be
this.
more
Yeah,
painful. Okay.
the Sunday night, I hardly slept because it was coming and going, coming and
Mm-hmm.
going. I called my doula Monday because got it like really close. So she was
Yeah.
like, "Are you keeping track of the contractions? Are you counting and everything?" I was like, "Yeah, it
Mm-hmm.
started to get really close, like probably every 10 minutes." And she was like, okay, do you want me to come to you, or do you want me to meet you at the hospital? I was like, no, you come to me because I need that extra.
Yeah. Yeah.
It was
The support.
terrible. And I needed that support. So she decided to come. So she came, and we were there laboring Monday, laboring. It wasn't consistent. At one point, it was every 5 minutes, and then it went out again. It started
Mm-hmm.
like 20 minutes apart, and it wasn't consistent until probably around 10 o'clock,
Okay.
like about 5 times consistently. It came every 5 minutes. So she
Okay.
said,
So
let's go to the hospital.
this is like Monday night at 10 o'clock or so.
Monday night at 10
Okay. So
o'clock,
you'd been
yes.
kind of laboring all day,
Laboring
inconsistently,
all
but
day.
laboring. Okay. Okay.
Mhm. So
So,
we got to the hospital. I was still having contractions. And I checked in and everything, and the nurses were with me, getting my information. And it was time to put the monitor on my tummy to check baby and everything. And I remember lying there, and she put it on, and she said, "What's going on?" I was like, "Is everything okay?" And she was like, mm, I'm trying to find him." She said, "I'm trying to find him." I was like, "Oh, is it probably he's sleeping? I don't know, because last Wednesday when I came in, it must literally had to rock my tummy, so probably should try and rock to probably to see if he's okay to get it." And she was like, "Okay," and she did it. I guess she did it just to satisfy me
Mm-hmm.
or so. But and she said, "Hold on, I'll be back." And a doctor came in this time, and this time they came with the portable sonogram.
Mm-hmm.
So she was there, and she was searching. Hold on. And at that point, I realized that no, something is wrong,
Yeah.
because I was not hearing him. I was not hearing the heartbeat. I wasn't seeing the blue and the red light that you
Mm-hmm.
see.
Mm-hmm.
Well, I was like, what's going on? But in the back of my mind, I'm still excited. I say, "Oh my God, I'm gonna have my baby.
Yeah.
Zai's gonna be here." So I'm just waiting for them to tell me he's okay. And she went in and she brought in the other doctor, and she said, "This is my supervisor. So she's gonna take a look at you." So, okay. And they looked, and she said, "Mommy, I'm so sorry, but there's no heartbeat." I remember literally jumping off the bed, and I said, "No." He said, "No, you have to try again. This pregnancy was too difficult to tell me this." I said, "No, you're not. Mm-mm. You have to try again." And my aunt was in the room at that time, and the doula was there. So I remember seeing their faces, and everybody was in shock, because, like, we were there just laboring for the entire day, and now saying there's no heart. I think we were all in shock. One nurses came in, another doctor came in. So at that time, we had about 4 or 5 medical personnel in the room, and she said, "Mommy, we can try it again. Let's see." And they tried, and she said, "I'm so sorry, Mommy, but we can't find the heartbeat." And the whole room like exploded with cries, because my aunt started to cry, the doula started to cry, the nurses started to cry, and we were all there crying. And I remember telling my aunt, I said, "Call my husband, call him." And I remember I said, "Where's my phone? Where's my phone?" And I called a friend. I said, "You need to pray with me, because I'm here at the hospital and they're saying they can't find a heartbeat." And she said, "Okay, let's pray." And and she prayed. I told her I'm gonna keep her updated. Thank you so much. And and that was, like, I was in shock. I was in disbelief. I was like, "No, that can't. Oh, like," and I started to think back, like, why I didn't go to labor and delivery that Wednesday. Probably it was then. That's when he started to have his issues, his problems, and I started to question everything I did. And they told me, "Okay, well, we're gonna give you some time to think, to just give you some time for yourself as a family, and we're gonna come back and have a discussion as to what we do next." I remember just lying there and I'm seeing everything, like all the nurses, everybody was still crying. I was just lying there. That time I had stopped crying. I just laid there. It's like, and to me, it's like, oh, what? What's happening? What? Like, am I dreaming? Maybe this is a bad dream. So I need to wake up. So I was literally telling myself, okay, Shamika, get up. This is this is a bad dream. I need to wake up from this bad dream. This cannot be real. And I laid there. I probably laid there for at least half an hour without saying anything, just hoping that I'll just wake up from the bad dream. I literally touched myself at the point. I was like, no, I wake up. This, no, he's good. He's fine. And um, and the doctors came in to discuss the way forward. And they said that they're gonna admit me, and as soon as the next shift changes, which is at 8, they will start the induction to induce labor. And deep down, I was just praying and hoping that, okay, good. Probably they made a mistake. So if they get this done as quickly as possible, maybe they could let him save him or do something to bring him back. So I was just keeping my fingers crossed that probably did something wrong. Something went wrong with the sonograph machine or something. So he'll be fine.
Yeah.
And I was literally showing them the movements. I was saying, look, 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 he's moving. Everybody was like, so I asked, well, what movement is that? And the doctor said, that's most likely your womb that is contracting, that is moving him. So I held my breath. I was like, oh my God, I had this movement for a while. So what? They rolled me into the delivery room and got me set up.
Yeah. Did you call your husband by this time? Were you able to talk to him?
No, I didn't get to speak to him.
Not yet.
My aunt, I believe, called.
Okay.
And she spoke to him and gave him the news. And
yeah,
I probably spoke to him the following morning, the Tuesday morning. And I was telling him, I said, no, no, that's not true. They're telling me that the baby doesn't have a heartbeat, it can pass. But look at what has been going on for the past few days, and everything was okay. So I don't know. I don't know what. And he was crying, and he was just there trying to comfort me. Oh, you'll be okay. Everything will be okay. Just take it one bit at a time as it comes. Let's see. Let's see what's going on and everything. And that was it. We spoke that time, and it was as if I totally shut down because I remember that day to be very still and understood what still meant until Tuesday. Nobody spoke. Nobody said a thing. We were just in the room. I had 2 doulas, one on my left, one on my right. I remember they had the essential oils and they were rubbing my feet. They were all just that time though. I didn't. They didn't start the induction. It started a little later than they wanted, so I was still having contractions. So they came and they explained, well, probably I may consider the epidural.
Yeah.
Just to lessen on the pain. You already have this emotional pain, so if I want to, I could get it done They'll try and get somebody as quick as possible to come and get it done.
Yeah.
Of course, I didn't want it, but then I think my aunt, she spoke to my husband. She probably told him, well, I think you should advise her to get it done because pain that she's in, plus the pain that she's having also, it's not. So probably try to convince her so that she can get the epidural to lessen down one pain. And we did speak again. And he said, babe, I think you should consider it. And I thought long and hard. I said, because I really wanted that experience. It's my first baby. That was the plan. I'm going to try to go natural to get the whole experience and everything. And I felt as though this is being taken away because of that. So it's like, I felt angry. I decided, no, I'm not going to get no epidural until the pain hits. And I was like, okay, I'm getting it.
Okay.
And I remember so clearly one of the nurses that came in with the doctor. I remember she held me so tight and she said, Mommy, I am so sorry you're going through this. But I had a friend who went through it and she's still going through it, but she's doing okay. And he hugged, like probably for about 5 minutes, just crying, both of us, while the doctor waited to set me up. And after I wiped my tears, and then we waited for the last contraction to pass, and then he did it. And then everything happened, and she cleared the room. My family were able to come back. That is my aunt and the doulas. That morning, though, I had 3 doulas because one of the doula that I had from the Monday night, she called a friend to come when we found out. So she came, and another one came the Monday morning to bring breakfast for them. So at that point, I had 3 doulas actually in the room with me.
Yeah.
Oh my God. I said I had to be a little blessing because I mean, not 1, not 2, but 3.
Yeah.
So 3 of them were there, but the one that had brought breakfast, she had to leave. But before she left, I remember while we were all being quiet, for a while she said, "Do anybody want to listen to music?" And I remember asking her to play because this is a song that I always used to play while pregnant. You've been so good to me. And she played it. And then by the time it was finished, somebody else asked for something else. So at that point, we just had gospel music playing while just being quiet. And it was really good. That really helped. And we keep coming to check to see how I'm progressing with everything. And I remember clearly about 7:30, no, probably about quarter to 7.
Mm-hmm.
I felt a pop. Oh. And I looked at the doula. I was like, I heard something. She was like, "You sure?" I said, "Yeah." But they had broken my water already. So I was like, I didn't feel anything. And then I couldn't feel anything in my legs anyway.
Yeah.
But, she said, let me call a nurse to check to see what's going on. And when she came and she checked, she was like, okay, don't push. Don't do anything. I have to go find the doctor. You're ready to deliver.
Okay.
I remember looking at the doula and I said, I'm here. But when he comes, I don't want to see him. I don't want to see him. So don't bring it to me. She said, okay, if that's what you want, then let's do that. I remember I pushed for probably 8 minutes. Felt probably shorter. And by 6:58, he came. And I was hoping and praying that I'll just hear him crying. But I didn't. So I closed my eyes. I closed it so tight. I said, I don't even want them to make a mistake. And I see him. So I remember the doctor saying, okay, mommy, I'm going to massage your tummy now so we can get out the placenta. I, at the time I was numb from like the heartbreak, the pain, the disappointment. So I didn't even respond. I was just there, my eyes closed, and they're just doing what they had to do. They stitched me up a bit, and they got me situated again. So I was in bed, and I remember turning my head the other way because I know they were on the other side, wrapping him up because I can hear the little whispers because I think they were just trying to be considerate with my wishes at the time. So they didn't want to say how he looked or if he was okay, if
Yeah.
whatever it was. So I was just hearing little whispers. And I took a long, probably before my eyes closed. I couldn't even sleep. The night before, I didn't even sleep. So that was like almost 24 hours of not
Oh,
sleeping. So I was like, let me see if I can sleep. But I couldn't sleep anyways. And it was around 8 o'clock. I remember opening my eyes. And I think my aunt, she had him and she came over. She gave somebody first and she came over and she said, he's perfect. He just looks like he's sleeping. Are you sure you don't want to see him? And I told her, no, I don't want to see him. And they they left the room with him. And she came over, and the doulas came over again, and we were all silent again, just rubbing my feet. My aunt held my hands, and I was just there, like screaming in my mind. And I told the nurse, I said, um, can you bring him far away? And she said, no, he's just in the other room. And I said, please go for him. I need to see him. And she did. She said, sure, no problem, mommy. I think she was excited because I guess they really wanted that for me. So quickly she went and she came back with him and she unwrapped him and then she wrapped him back up again. I guess I don't know, probably she was nervous and everything, just trying to make sure he looks perfect for me. And I remember she brought him back and he was laying there. And I fell in love with him all over again. I remember his chubby little cheeks. His lips were like red wine, kind of dark. And it was the only word I could have come up with at the time was perfection. He was perfect. And then he like piece of his skin had come up off from on top of his eyes, but all I could have seen was perfection. He was perfect in my eyes. Really, really nice. He looked exactly like his father. Nice, small, chubby cheeks. He was just lying there, and perfect peace is exactly what I saw in him. And there was this little song that I sang from the time I knew I was pregnant. And I said, okay, I'm going to sing that song for you one last time. While my doula was there, she said, okay, we need to capture this moment. I don't know how you're going to feel, but I'm going to do a video so you can always remember. And you can have it to go back to, as well as your husband, you'll be able to see. And I remember singing that song one last time for him. God made me, God made me. I'm so happy that God made me. God made my fingers, God made my toes, God made my elbows, God made my nose, God made my cheekbones, God made my chin, God made the shape that I am in. So I remember I sang that, and after finishing, like, I felt peace. I was like, that's it. I know he's okay. I know why I had to pray that night. I know why I had to give him back. Because probably I'll just prepared me for that day and that moment. And I know for sure that he is definitely is in God's hands, because I don't know, I just felt at the time that I need to pray and give it back to God. I was like, well, I mean, I pray every day and I know that he's in God's hands, but I just felt strongly that I just need to pray over him, and I and I and I did, and I prayed and I said, okay, that's a confirmation. He had to go back. Probably he went back that night, but he's good. He's safe. I know whose hands he's in, and I remember my doula said that's the only time throughout everything she saw me smile and she realized, no, she's gonna be okay. She's gonna be fine. She's hurting, but that smile, that peace that I saw over you, she was telling me, that peace that I saw over you, I know you're gonna be okay. It's gonna be hard, but I know you're gonna be okay. And that was it. That was the last time I saw him. But that was one of the best time, best and worst. Okay, he was perfect. He was beautiful. He had to be an angel. He was too perfect to be here. And they came and I told them I'm ready. You can now take him away. And they came and they took him and wheeled him out. And I remember that night, I said, can I get something to help me sleep? Because I didn't sleep. I didn't sleep properly Sunday anyways. Monday night I didn't sleep because I was at the hospital. And it's now Tuesday. I need to get some sleep. I need to. And I remember they gave me something. And after which I started to tremble. So I was having like a cold feet, a hot cold kind of
Yeah.
thingy. So they had to go down to the theater, get some warm blankets, spray it up for me. I was shaking like a leaf.
Oh.
And I don't know what happened after. Probably I fell asleep. I don't know. And I remember probably after 3 that morning, when I opened my eyes, nurse was like, Mommy, I'm so happy to see you, because last night we were trying different medications and your heart it kept dropping. I
Oh.
don't know why, but when they tried the third one, it worked. So she's so happy to see me.
Oh my gosh.
And she held my hand and she said, Mommy, don't lose faith. Remember, I'm telling you this, don't lose faith. And that day, everybody went home. That day it was myself. It was me alone in the hospital. I spoke to my husband on the phone. It was just quiet day, and just lying there. And every time they came in to visit, they'll bring a box of tissue because I was crying the entire day. They preparing tissue and rubbing my head and saying, "Mommy, I'm so sorry. Everything's gonna be okay." That's what they so I had the nurses with me for the entire day. The nurse in charge of that of the ward, of the delivery ward, she came in also. She was like, "I'm so sorry to hear that. Is there anything I can do for you? Here's my card." So I got her card. The chaplain came in after. She spoke with me. She gave me a little pouch. I still have it. I really like it because it had this lemongrass, dried lemongrass, and with the oil. And I remember that's the same oil because I remember the scent so good that the doulas were rubbing my feet with at the time. So it was very significant, and I held it up to this day. I still have it. And the next day, and that same day, they came in and no, sorry, need to backtrack. So the night before I went to the deep sleep, I came in. So one of the doulas asked for the keepsake. So I had his footprint,
Oh, good.
his handprints, lock of his hair
Oh, good.
in a nice box, purple box. It was perfect. And they gave that to me. So the next day, that's what I held. I just had it on my chest for the entire day. And everybody went home, and I just had it because I felt at least I have something of him.
Yeah.
He's not here, but I have something of him with me. So I had the box with the keepsake, and it was perfect. I would not have thought of that, but it's good to have a doula, trust me.
Yes. Yes.
And they advocated and they got that. So I have something for a lifetime now, physically,
Yes.
of him.
Shermica, can I ask you, how big was he when he was born? How much did he
He
weigh? And
was 7 pounds, 0.5 ounces.
oh, he was a good little size.
He was a good little, and he was 21 inches long.
Oh, he was tall.
He was tall. I can't believe he was tall. He must have gotten that from his dad's side
Yeah.
because his brothers and his father, they're tall
Tall.
people. And I was like, this long baby was inside of me.
Yeah.
He was perfect.
Yeah. I am so glad that the doulas asked you and your aunt asked you, and because that sounds like it was very special to meet him and to see how perfect he was. And
And I'm so happy that I decided alas that I should,
yes.
because I was like so angry with myself. I was like, how can I look at him and then I didn't do what I was supposed to keep him, and then I'm getting a chance. So I felt guilty. I felt like I shouldn't get that chance to see him. So, and then again, I was frightened. I don't know why, but I was just
Yeah.
frightened. So,
Yeah.
told him. I said, no, I don't want to see him.
And I'm glad you did. I'm glad you did.
So happy I did.
Yeah. You know, it is
Love at first sight.
Yeah. Yes.
Oh
They
my
just,
God.
your babies just get you. I mean, they capture your heart.
Yes.
Were they worried about you physically because your heart rate was dropping that one night? Did they keep you in the hospital a little bit longer just to make sure you were okay?
Yes. So they
Okay.
were running tests like crazy.
Okay.
So that was the Monday. So the Tuesday I was there for the Tuesday also.
Okay.
I was there 2 days actually. The Tuesday they were running tests for the entire day, every 2 hours. They were
Oh.
coming to draw blood. There was a point that they had to. One of the nurses said, "Miss, I cannot do this to you anymore. My hands were literally swollen because
Oh, yeah.
they were coming. And like they were not, um they were exploding
Yeah, they
because they
just
wouldn't stay.
yeah.
They were not, they couldn't get no blood. So she said, Miss, I may have to lose my work over this. I cannot put you through this anymore because
Oh,
you're swelling up, your veins are exploding, your, your body's just tired.
yeah.
And I said, well, you have to do it because you have to make sure I'm fine. And she said, okay, I'm gonna do it. And I couldn't find any hair anymore, so
Yeah.
they went higher.
Yeah. Did they find anything wrong, or was it just your body
Nothing.
needing to
So
stabilize?
everything was coming back. Things were starting to look better
Okay.
by by Wednesday night.
Okay.
Sorry, Tuesday night. Everything started to look better. So the last draw I had was right before I left. Right before I left, she said, "Good, everything looks so much better, but we have to do last one." I was like, "Okay, go
Yes.
ahead, do
Yeah.
it, do it."
Yeah. Yeah.
She said, "In order for you to get discharged, we have to do last one just to make sure because of what happened."
Yeah.
And they did it, and blood came back significantly better than it was. They were not
Good.
seeing anything that they were seeing before.
Okay.
So it was not in septic shock or anything like that. Everything
Yeah.
was, yeah.
Okay.
So everything was going fine. So
Okay.
I said that for that.
I'm just I'm grateful because yeah, like there's so many things that could have contributed to you feeling
So
terrible,
many
right?
things.
So many things, and so I was like, oh, I hope everything was okay. Um, so you went home. You gave birth on
Mom,
Monday night, right?
no, Tuesday night.
It was Tuesday night. Sorry,
Yeah.
Tuesday night, and then you were discharged on Wednesday.
Wednesday, yeah. So they
Was that
just kept
right?
me, yeah,
Okay. But you labored all day on Monday,
on
essentially.
Monday. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah, just a long, long process and a lot of stress and like lack of sleep and
Lack of
pain and
sleep.
I
Yeah.
just
From since
it
Sun so
I don't
Sunday,
yeah,
Monday.
yeah. I don't think people realize how I mean labor in itself is very difficult, but then you add on top of this finding out that you have lost your
Lost
child and also
that
being
things.
like, no, this can't be. Check
This can,
again,
yeah.
right?
So
It's
you're just going over in your mind, like, what
yeah.
is it I did, or what is it I could have done, or
Yes.
mind
Yeah.
games that right time, right
Oh,
there.
it is so heavy. It's all so, so heavy. So, you guys you did get discharged though and
Yes.
got back home and um
So we
yeah.
went home, and I remember leaving that day when and I told my aunt, I'm living here without a baby.
Yeah.
I'm living here with nothing. I'm
Yeah.
living here with the bags I came with without a
Yeah.
baby. And I remember she hugged me and she said, Shermica, you're gonna be fine. And we took that walk from that elevator to the car. We got in the car, and my uncle was playing music, and he just cut it off, and we were just in silence again to get home. I went home, and I think they tried to clean the room to get take us for the baby stuff. They didn't get everything out, but
Yeah.
I went in. I laid down, and I remember. I think it's the same day, or is it the next day? I think the next day when I got up, I was still hoping. I mean, I was still in disbelief that they would call and say, "Oh, they found the baby breathing and everything is okay."
Yeah. Yeah.
And I remember there were an earthquake at that time, and I was like, "Oh my, am I gonna get a Lazarus experience where Lazarus rose from the dead?"
Yeah.
And they're gonna call and say, "Oh, the earthquake and the baby." They when they go and check it, and it's the babies. I was so hoping, so hoping that they will call and say they found the baby alive, but they didn't. They didn't call, so I knew
Yeah.
I had to take that in. That he is gone. He is really gone.
And that's something you don't want to accept.
No,
I didn't.
no, and I didn't. I didn't. I wanted to. I did at some point, but I couldn't fully accept. So I was still hoping that they would call and see that there was a mistake or there will be a great miracle and the baby is going to be brought to life because I prayed through the entire pregnancy. I prayed with him. I read in Bible stories. I did
Everything.
what I should have, but why? This is the outcome. So this cannot be true. Maybe he's going to be a miracle baby and he's going to be brought back to life. So maybe, yeah.
Yeah. Yep. You go through all of that. Shermica, did you, when you were in the hospital, were you able to talk to the doctors and were they able to come up with maybe what had happened?
No, they couldn't. At first they talked. It was well, at first they had preeclampsia.
Oh.
Yeah, but it wasn't that.
Oh, okay.
They just used that because they needed something at the point.
They,
I
yeah.
assume that they need something to diagnose. They need to come up with something
Yeah.
at the time. And again, the only time my blood pressure actually it didn't even go up, we actually dropped instead was the night after delivery.
Yeah.
So my blood pressure was fine, but
Yeah.
I guess they still had to use something. So they had that
Hmm.
until the autopsy was done. I
Okay.
did sign up for the autopsy.
Okay. And that takes a bit of time to
Oh
get the
yeah,
results back for
I
the
got the
autopsy.
results in November.
Oh, okay. So just a month ago, really?
Just a month ago. Yeah.
Okay.
Mhm.
What did the autopsy end up saying?
The autopsy, as I thought, he was perfect. His body was perfect. He had 10 fingers, 10 toes, organs were well made, heart was
Yeah.
functioning well,
Yeah.
was good, everything looked good.
Everything
He
looked
didn't
good.
miss an organ, everything was well. So I knew for sure that he was perfect.
He was
So
perfect.
that
Yes.
confirmed it. That
Yes.
confirmed it. And they saw an issue with my placenta.
Oh.
It was that is they found an infection in the placenta. I think it's called chromo. It's a long word. In the placenta. So apparently it was way below the size of a normal placenta. I think it was 2.5 when it's supposed to be a bit higher, like 5. So
Oh.
apparently the placenta malfunctioned or it got infected and it stopped. It couldn't
It
give
couldn't.
him anything anymore.
Yeah. Oh.
So I don't know when that happened, but I guess it had to be around 36 because when I went in for my 34th week and I think 5 days
Yeah.
sonogram,
Mm-hmm.
the placenta was good. It was on the right track.
It
So I
was the
don't know
right
if
size.
after that it started to malfunction
Oh.
and it
And
got
so it
infected.
just stopped giving him what he needed and he
Stopped giving him what he needed because it was infected.
oh.
And he when I delivered him, it was 39 weeks and
Mm-hmm.
39, 1, 2, 3, Sunday, Monday, Tuesday, and 3 days.
So it was essentially like 3 weeks, 3 to 4 weeks or so
Yeah,
where there could have been some
when there could
issues. I
have
mean,
been
and that's
something.
where that's a lot of things are happening those last few
Yeah.
weeks.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Again, as I'll say, I know I like food. I'm a foodie. So I'm thinking, this he was 7 pounds, and just imagine he couldn't give him what he should. So just imagine he would have been a big.
He would have been a big he
He
would have
would
been
have
even
been a
bigger or
really
taller.
big.
Yeah.
So something happened to my
Yeah.
placenta, stopped growing, got infected, and it couldn't provide for him.
Oh, you know what though? The one of the things that when I got my autopsy back for my son as well, I felt great reassurance that he was perfect too. Like
Oh
reading
yes,
his little report. And when you said that, you're like, 10 fingers, 10 toes. He looked, all his organs were there. He looked great. And I was like, yeah, isn't it nice to just feel like he was perfect?
he was perfect.
He was perfect every way. And unfortunately, placentas are the issue most of the time, majority of the time. And so, um, yeah, it's heartbreaking. But
It
also just
is.
be like, I got a little angel that was perfect. And
Yes, this little angel, perfect.
yeah.
He was indeed an angel. Because I remember after receiving the autopsy, I messaged the doctor. I was like, "Can we have a conversation, please? I need you to go over the autopsy with
Hmm.
me because I need
Yeah.
to be clear about certain things." And then she went over and she said, "Mommy, there is nothing that you did that was wrong.
Yeah.
There was nothing." And I think I needed to hear that because I was still beating myself that I
Yeah.
did something or
Yeah. You blaming yourself for,
yeah, I
for,
didn't. I couldn't
yeah.
accept that. Probably it just wasn't me. I couldn't accept that I was like, I'm the one carrying him. It couldn't be me and my body. Maybe my body didn't keep up its bargain.
Yeah.
It should do that. You're naturally made to give birth and to have babies. So that
Yeah.
was hard until she said, "Mommy, this is something that happens and it's just real life. It's not spoken a lot about, but it happens. And I don't want you to continue to blame yourself because we know that that normally happens. Mommies, they blame themselves. But there's nothing that you did you did all that was right.
Hmm. Yep.
All
You
that
did
was
all that was right. And you had a perfect little angel.
right. Perfect. 10 toes, 10 fingers, nose, small mouth.
Yeah.
Perfect.
Tall, tall.
Tall. Oh my God. He would have been so tall.
Shermica, I thank you so much for sharing his story.
Oh,
And
you're welcome.
I'm so sorry for your loss. It is heartbreaking, and I know that you're missing him and missing
Oh,
somebody in your family, and that's hard. And that's hard.
when I see that, I normally have to speak to myself and say, "You're okay." Because he's splitting image.
Yeah. Is there any last thing that you want to tell us about him, or anything that we may have forgotten in telling his story?
I called him my little protector. I remember while visiting the clinics from since Grenada,
Hmm.
every time we entered a room, before like as soon as the nurse or the doctor put their hands on my tummy, he will kick. They'll be like, "This little guy, this little guy."
Is
Every
protecting you.
time. So I said, "That's my little protector. He's gonna be my little protector."
That is the sweetest.
Every time. Always kick as soon as they touch, as soon as they go to measure, you'll be kicking. You'll be like, "Hey, this little guy, this little guy." So yep,
Oh,
that's my little protector.
that is the sweetest, sweetest.
Yes.
He's
It was good. I always just wait and be like, watch. Let's just watch what he's gonna do as soon. And as soon as they put their hands, kick. I say, okay, that's my little protector.
Yeah, that's wonderful. Sharmika, once again, thank you so much for sharing your little sigh, your little protector, with us today on the podcast.
Thank you. Thank you so much. You're welcome. It was a pleasure being here. Thank you for having me. Thank you for using this platform to help me also so I can share his story so I can help somebody else.
Yeah,
Thank you.
yeah, that's what we're here for, to share and help each other out. Right.
Yes.